Baku speaking. Hello dear listeners, you are tuned into Azerbaijan International Radio. We are starting our English broadcast from the capital Baku. We welcome you to our analytic program. I'm your host Elçin Mirzayev. Pages from History, Karadağlı Tragedy. One of the bloody events that has entered Azerbaijan's recent history is the Karadağlı Massacre. The Karadağlı Tragedy, which took place on February 17th, 18th, 1992, is one of the bloodiest atrocities committed before the Khojalı Massacre. Karadağlı, a village in the administrative territory of Khojavend district, is one of the ancient residential settlements of Karabakh. This village was renowned for its picturesque nature, lush green slopes, long-lived trees, and abundant springs. Its residents were primarily engaged in livestock farming, agriculture, and viticulture. Locals often refer to Karadağlı as a paradise. However, as the situation in Karabakh deteriorated, dark days also befell this village. Despite several attempts to repel attacks by Armenian military units, they continued daily assaults with new weapons, killing shepherds and driving away livestock. The Karadağlı tragedy on February 17th, 1992 was not just an event of one day or night, but part of a policy of ethnic cleansing and genocide against Azerbaijanis carried out continuously by Armenian nationalists for nearly 2 centuries. Following the occupation of Malabeyli and Gushu, the next target was the village of Karadağlı. The capture of this village, which hindered Armenian military maneuvers, was crucial for them. Therefore, taking over Karadağlı was a prerequisite. The Karadağlı massacre is also referred to as the Second Khojalı. On the February 14th, 1992, Armenian armed forces, having cut off all communications, launched an attack on Karadağlı, which was left without any assistance. The village's 104 residents and 14 soldiers fought against the enemy until the last bullet over 4 days. Among the casualties were 14 people, including 1 woman. Our compatriots, exhausted of ammunition, were ultimately captured and taken prisoner by Armenians, beginning their next ordeal. In a place called Beylikbağ, within the village, 23 residents were shot dead by Armenian executioners, with the majority being buried in a silo while still alive and wounded. Some of the villagers were thrown from vehicles and shot along the Karadağlı-Khankəndi road. Thus, Karadağlı village, which heroically resisted Armenian occupiers for 4 years, was invaded and burned on February 17th, 1992, and a genocide was committed against its peaceful population. During the occupation, 118 people were taken hostage and 33 were shot dead. Armenian executioners gathered the killed and wounded in one place, burying them in mass graves. In total, out of those taken hostage and subjected to captivity, 68 were killed and 50 were released with great difficulty. Among the captives, 1 were women and 2 were students. Of those who were released, 5 women and 18 others succumbed to their injuries. Karadağlı, along with Khojalı, Ağdaban, Ballıkaya, and other tragedies, is an indisputable genocide and one of the most painful and tragic pages in Azerbaijani history. Starting on September 27th, 2020, under the operation named Iron Fist, Azerbaijan's glorious victory in the patriotic war wrote an epic demonstrating clear superiority over the Armenian army and liberating its occupied territories. Azerbaijan's glorious victory in the patriotic war means avenging all our compatriots who have been victims of Armenian vandalism throughout history. Armenia bears responsibility for illegal occupation resulting in damages committed on sovereign Azerbaijani territory. Azerbaijan has submitted a claim document for arbitration against Armenia at the Permanent Court of Arbitration headquartered in The Hague under the 1979 Convention on the Conservation of European Wildlife and Natural Habitats. The United Nations Environment Programme has documented the death of hundreds of fish in the Okçuçay River, noting that mining activities in occupied areas lead to chemical pollution of water, soil, and biodiversity. Armenia turns a blind eye to the discharge of mine tailings containing heavy metals into transboundary rivers such as Okçuçay and Araz, using the Artsevani Reservoir, covering 270 million square meters as a dumping ground. Unfortunately, Armenia has been polluting the Aras River, one of the largest freshwater reserves, and other transboundary rivers for years. This eco-terrorism must be stopped because it poses a serious threat to the health of the region's population and ecosystems. Pollution of transboundary rivers like Okçuçay, Hakkari River and Bergushad River by Armenia's mining industry facilities with toxic and radioactive tailings not only threatens public health by increasing infectious disease, but also destroys biodiversity and erodes soil cover. Armenia violates the requirements of the ESPO Convention and the Convention on the Protection and Use of Transboundary Watercourses and International Lakes by failing to protect and use water flows and international lakes in the transboundary context. Azerbaijan has been exposed to occupation for 30 years, during which Azerbaijani civilians have fallen victim to mine terror, with over 400 people killed by mine explosions even after the patriotic war. Mine terror also seriously damages the environment and biodiversity. Animals in the region facing extinction are also killed due to the damage caused by mines. Armenia's failure to provide accurate mine maps demonstrates its lack of sincere peace intentions, showing that the consequences of the war continue and Armenia seeks to evade responsibility. Despite holding more than 1 million people in refugee and forced displacement situations and committing crimes against Azerbaijani people, Armenia refuses to apologize and provide compensation, instead making baseless accusations against our country. If Armenia truly desires peace, it will apologize for the crimes committed against our people. A state genuinely seeking peace will seek to normalize relations through forgiveness.